to go ahead and introduce Lisa Shanahan. Thank you for being here, lovely. Hallie's bringing you up to the front. Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
It's good to see you.
Great to see you as well.
Thank you for being here, honey. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I value your time. So Lisa, just a first quick disclaimer. Have I paid you anything to be here, or have we prepped with the questions?
No, ma'am.
Are you a little nervous?
Not really.
What question is she going to ask me?
No, it's hard. It's going to be easy because it's any question I'll be able to field with compliments and reassurance to everybody that's listening that it's worth every penny.
Oh, well, sweet. We don't need any other conversation. Thank you. See you later. So Lisa, where are you located?
Sunny Florida.
No, look at nice and suntanned. I'm a little envious.
Yeah, it's
Me and
going to
my
be
pasty white face right
record highs this weekend. They're saying upper 90s all weekend
Whoa.
long. So yeah.
How crazy is that? Yeah. Sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. Okay. So Lisa, how long have you been in the bakery?
I'm sad to say it's going to be ending in April. So my year ends in April.
You're coming up on that.
Yes.
So a year ago, basically, where were you in your business before joining the bakery?
Well, quick summary of my journey. I had ran an interior design and staging business in Michigan, and COVID hit and I had to transition to virtual, and I realized because my kids were launched, they had taken jobs in other states, and I was actually just newly divorced after 30 years, and I thought, I can do this anywhere. What am I doing? Well, staring at the snow out the window. So I moved to Florida, didn't know a soul 2.5 years ago, and I sold the company and started over here just over 2 years ago. So I figured when I found the Rolling in the Dough workshop online, I have no idea how Facebook got it to me, but it was like a godsend. And I knew I needed help as far as structure, organization, attracting the high-end clients, charging high-end fees, because I'm in an affluent area, Naples, Florida, where everybody's building new houses. And I never doubted that I could do it. I just knew I needed help structuring it and organizing myself. So where was I? I was starting all over. That's where I was a year ago.
That's amazing. So once you dove into the content, did you find that the exercises of like, who are you? Why are you a badass? And then who's your ideal client profile? Obviously that changed from one state to another, but also kind of one business model to another.
It did.
Were you able to identify all that?
Yes. I went from charging within a week of getting access to the bakery and all the wonderful things in there. I went from charging $10,000 for a whole house to $10,000 for 2 rooms.
Yeah. Good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah. And I dove right in because I was in the middle of a project, and that's the beauty about the bakery is yes, you can start from the beginning and be, really methodical and go through it. I dove right in and realized, I wasn't charging enough. I hadn't been, sourcing directly to the trades. And I don't know if you remember, Michelle, but you and I had a one-on-one conversation when I wasn't sure. And we had a quick little conversation, and she's so accessible, you guys. When she says she's there and accessible and you've got a whole team, it's just not her, it's Debbie and Megan and Nicole and Haley. It's more than just what she's advertising. Really, there's more icing on top than what she is telling you. But we had a quick conversation, and you just made the light bulb go off because my former career I was a buyer for General Motors for 20 years. That was my first career. And I realized I was not making any markup on my furniture. And that conversation was the light bulb moment for me. And like this morning, I just installed wallpaper and made $1,000. It took them 45 minutes to put wallpaper on a feature wall. I made, profit on the wallpaper, profit on,
labor,
the trade. Yeah, it was like literally 45 minutes. I made $1,000.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Now, are you still doing staging?
You know what? The program also taught me to zero in on my ideal client. And no, I don't do that anymore. I just basically do people
Yeah.
that are building new homes from out of state. And I
Mhm.
coordinate everything so that when they close, usually I have a year, lead time. When they close,
Right.
I have everything ready to rock and roll and go.
Yeah, and I think that what you said is like you can't be all things to all people, and you're finding your niche that you've really zoned in on nicely. So um I do remember our conversation and talking about buying, and you were like, wait, hold on a second. I used to buy for General Motors and they
Yeah.
turn around and sell it. Why am I not doing that with my furniture?
Right.
So yeah,
I was doing that for mufflers and, car parts, but I wasn't doing that for, couches and lamps. It was just literally a light bulb moment. I remember you said, about 40%, 50% markup. And I'm like, right.
no, that's margin. Your
Margin.
markup is more than that, right?
Right.
Yeah. So with that, yeah, so also to answer the staging, Rainey, staging has its place maybe in the beginning of your business, but the money's really made in the design aspect. So, we started staging and then we phased that out because it just is almost a distraction once you get it going.
Yeah.
Um, Lisa, do you have a degree in
I,
design?
I do. I have a business degree, not in design, just in general business management.
Right. So Miriam's asking a question, do we have the degree in interior design, a university degree? And like, I don't, Lisa doesn't, my Megan does, my Debbie does not. So, have you found that to be a hindrance? I know that that's a mental obstacle for a lot of people.
No, you're good with analogies, Michelle, and this is what I say about interior design. I mean, I did get a certification back in the day for staging, but that's not accredited, and that's, people can say whatever they want. I
Right.
feel like just like rhythm, you're either born with, you can take dance lessons all day long,
Mhm.
but you're either born with rhythm or not. You can either clap to the beat or you can't. I feel like that's the same thing with interior design. You know how to pull something together or you don't. And so, no, that never, I knew I had a talent my whole life. I've flipped houses and helped other people. And when I went part-time, when my kids were little, I kind of had like, it was an organic thing that happened as far as people kept saying, why aren't you, charging for this? And you're so good at that. And I don't know how you layer like you do. And where did you find that? It just, enough compliments throughout your life, you realize you have, a little bit of a gift that other people don't have.
Yeah, I used to work for wine. My friends would come over. Come on, bring us some wine. We're gonna rearrange some furniture, and you need to tell you what you need to tell me what I need to go get, and then I'd go get it for them and stuff like that. So yeah, it does kind of come. And one of the things, Miriam, is that I was always very insecure about not having an interior design degree for a long time. But when people ask you, how long have you been doing this? Like my go-to was I've been doing this forever. I just decided to get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, it has not been an obstacle. Um, Lisa, let's think, what's the, what has been your biggest takeaway from the bakery?
Oh my gosh, the fact that I thought I could do it by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm overconfident because knowing now what I know, that was really, really dumb for me to think it's a lonely industry.
It
And
is.
even if you just have even if you are just super organized and you have no distractions in your life and you only want to work and you don't want to work-life balance, I feel like you still can't do it yourself. It's just
Yeah.
impossible. So I guess the takeaway was, thank God I found you when I did, because I would have been spinning my wheels, stressed out a lot longer. I certainly wouldn't have been making the money I'm making now. And I wouldn't have you guys, all my peeps, all my fellow
Thank
bakers
you.
that I talk to every day. I'm going to miss you
I'm
guys. So
so excited to hear that. Well, you can stick around. We've got two different directions you can go. But in regards to that, I love hearing that you're talking to bakers every day. So it's almost like you have this extended family or team almost to influence your business decisions as well as directly in the Facebook group and stuff.
Right. And the Facebook group is just, I mean, it's invaluable. Last night I posted a question about something and, woke up to 10 comments helping me. I mean, it's just, I don't overuse it. But when I'm in a pinch, I put it out there and I get my answer. It's really phenomenal.
I love hearing that. I love hearing that. Rainey wants to know, how did you find your clients in a brand new city where you knew nobody? Did you approach builders?
Like not one person, literally. I
Right.
moved here not knowing one person. So, so I did build a house. So I'm in a community that is still building. So that's kind of where it started organically, because I can let these people know that I just went through the process and I can save them money by teaching them what I already kind of learned being in the industry. So I do designer for a day where I meet them at the builder's showroom and I help them pick out all their builders, selections, but then that just turns into, oh, I need you to get everything. I'm talking soup to nuts, window treatments, flooring, fixtures, lighting, furniture, rugs, patio furniture. I help design their outdoor pools. I turn business away every single week.
That's amazing. We should talk about that, Lisa. You might need to get some help.
I do need help. But people are also willing to wait, just like that you teach us. It's okay if you do a qualifying call, discovery call, and say, well, we're booking in April or May or June. All the good trades say that. Nobody flinches. People wait. So we're the same. You can wait for the good help.
How would that have felt to you a year ago? Were you able to put people on a wait list, or did you feel like you needed to take everything and just burn through it?
I wasn't so bad at just taking everybody. I feel like my corporate background did allow me to filter somewhat, because I'm not going to give my design genius away for free. In fact, funny little story that just happened. Somebody had just moved in down the street, and we talked in the yard with the dogs out, and she knew what I did. And so I happen to have some wallpaper books in my garage, and she was looking for wallpaper. I said, you know what, these are just sitting here. Go ahead and, you're more than welcome to take a look. And so I went to pick them up, and sure enough, she's gonna ask for advice. And I said, oh, no. If you'd like a consultation, I have a process. Let me show you how I work. She's like, well, wait a minute. I just want to, oh, no. And she's my neighbor, right? So that I don't think I would have had the courage to do a year ago. I would have thought to myself, she's a neighbor. I have to be nice, So I don't know if I answered your question or not, but I did kind of put the brakes on, and I felt, wow, good job. That was badass. Good.
Yeah. That is awesome. I love hearing that. So Lisa, what would you say to the audience, or what words would you want to leave them? What words of wisdom would you like to impart?
Well, I feel like, as most other testimonials maybe that you've had on here, you will make the money back in your first full bakery client. Now, I know some people are nervous. They'll do like a half. If they're halfway through the material, they'll say, well, I'll take this piece and this piece. But when you are fully indoctrinated into the bakery process, you'll make the money back you can make the money back on a couple pieces of furniture. So I guess I would say, don't be fearful. It does seem like a lot of money. It is a chunk of change, especially when you're starting out. But my words of wisdom is, you really can't afford not to do it, because you are going to struggle and be stressed out. And it is a lonesome way to go without having people to just bounce things off of. And, like there's a gal right now that's struggling with somebody that broke up with her. We call it the breakup, right? She's got a high-end client from New York City, right? And she's basically breaking up with her. That's hard. You can't help but take that personal, but she's got all of our support to say, hey, you're doing the right thing. She's been able to ask you directly how to handle it. So it's just a really nice safety net and community on top of all the other, true business tools that you have.
I love hearing that. The community is just such a lovely offshoot of the content, and the individuals that participate are just golden. So Lisa, you've been so appreciated. Like you're a great little cheerleader in the background too. So
Thank you.
thank you so much. And thank you for being here, y'all.